Hi there, my name is Tom. The reason I like to do this, I like to cook. I love to eat, and I love to play.
The Portuguese vinegar roast featuring chicken is one of the best meals I have ever had. You get tomato sauce in it, and you've got some cider vinegar, a couple of links of chourico, you've got the chicken of course, potatoes, carrots, turnips, maybe 2 to 3 onions, salt and pepper. Make sure that you have frozen that recipe down. Take a look here. It's very simple. Chicken, tomato sauce, turnip if you want it, carrot if you want it, onions, and chourico. Chourico is Portuguese sausage. Not available everywhere, but boy, it does make a difference. You can use chourizos if you need to. First thing I do, of course, is to season the pan. Make sure you always pause, by the way, the program on any of the ingredients so you can write them down and gather them up before you continue. Choose your favorite ones, and you'll be able to take a look at those recipes whenever you need to. Next, pour in the tomato sauce. Now, I use anywhere from 28 ounces to 38 ounces or 40 ounces. I use a can or two, but certainly the can, and then I add a full cup or cup and a half of water. This is going to provide the base for our broth. The next part's important because it helps the meat break down and the vegetables break down so that they are all tender. Put anywhere from really a quarter of a cup is best in a pan this size. Just a quarter of a cup, a little bit of cider vinegar, and put it right into the sauce. No need to mix yet. My mouth is watering already because I love this kind of food. A little bit of pepper right on the top there. And if you like salt, put a little bit of salt on there. Kosher salt if you've got it. Just a little bit. Next, stir it lightly so it doesn't splatter all over the place. Just try to get the pepper and the vinegar in particular mixed in with the water and the tomato sauce, just so it is somewhat consistent. Remember, you can pause this program in between the steps if you want to cook right along with me. A lot of people do that. They do each step, they watch it, and then they do it. The next thing that we want to do is we're going to put in our chicken. It's already been washed, as you should always do with poultry. Wash it good. And here is the nice part for me. It's kind of decorating. I take cut up potatoes, turnip, and onion, and carrot, and I put it all around the chicken. Notice the chicken is somewhat submerged, so some of that sauce is going onto the inside of the chicken as well. And we're putting the vegetables right in around the chicken and the sauce. One of the beauties about this particular meal is the fact that you get to cook everything together. It all comes out beautifully cooked all together. And it's in one pan that you can serve from. So here's a pan that you're setting it up in, you're going to bake in, and you can put it on a trivet or on the table, and you can serve and cut directly from there, and people can choose which of the vegetables they like. If they don't like turnip, they don't take it. If they like more potato, they can take extra. Makes it real nice. Now, the chourico. This is the time when the chourico comes in. There's more flavoring in this chourico than you can possibly imagine. Cut your chourico into chunks like this. I actually prefer the chourico, and if you don't have it, use linguiça or some kind of a kielbasa if you want to. It's not really Portuguese at that point. The chourizos usually are wrapped, and they break apart a little bit too much for slicing like this. Put the chourico, or the type of sausage that you're using, all over the roast. I put it there between the drumsticks and the thigh area. I put it in right with the vegetables. The reason is because, especially with chourico, what happens is the juices from the meat will flow into the sauce, onto the vegetables, and into the chicken. It looks beautiful. It tastes unbelievable. And this is a real traditional Portuguese meal. Then I take a baster, and I take that sauce, and I cover the chicken and even some of the vegetables. The reason you don't want any more sauce than about a half of a pan is because you don't want the chicken boiling in it. We're using it as a flavoring and as a base, and we want the vegetables to roast. We don't want them to be boiled. Basting like this is really, really good because of the blending of the flavors, and that's what I love about this roast. It's the blend of all of the different foods. Also, one of the things that I think you'll find very interesting is the way that we cook this. We're going to cover it up and we're going to put it into the oven, and we're going to set it at 325 degrees for an hour and a half. But at the hour and a half mark, you baste it again. You take it out and you cover it again with the sauce using a baster. Be careful, use your cooking pads, make sure you don't get burned. An hour and a half the first time, take it out, baste it again completely, put it back in the oven for another hour. Check your vegetables. If they're not quite done, or if they're too firm for you, put it in for another half hour. You won't overcook the chicken because of the moisture from the sauce. You can see how beautiful that looks going into the oven. When you do take it out of the oven, it looks absolutely fantastic. Steaming hot and absolutely delicious. Make sure your vegetables are not too firm because you have to put it back again. And then use your baster. Use your baster to pull out some of that sauce so that other people, when they serve themselves at the table, don't splatter all over the place. And what they can end up doing is they can actually take that sauce and use it as a gravy for extra. The other thing that I do, honestly, is when I serve this, sometimes what I do is I will remove the vegetables and the chicken and lay it out into some kind of a serving pan of some sort. And I take the extra sauce. The extra sauce goes into a separate container that I can store later on for use with soups and other flavorings. It is a fantastic base for soups because of all the vegetables and the meat. There's your Portuguese chicken roast. Delicious. Enjoy.